In one of my older videos, I strongly advocated for ibonds because it guarantees that your money will match with inflation. However, most recently, I came to the realization that there might be a better way to get interest with your money. What's up, everyone? This is Alex with Sinspiration, the only place where I inspire you to develop a growth mindset. No matter how much money you make, or save, or invest, you're always gonna want to have a rainy day fund. And what better way to preserve the purchasing power of your rainy day fund than to put your money into an asset that gives you high, steady interest. That's why I recommend ibonds. You probably know by now that every single calendar year, you can purchase up to $10,000 worth of ibonds electronically and $5,000 worth of paper ibonds. Now that it's a new year in 2024, should you buy more if you already own ibonds? Or if it's your very first time, should you buy into it? Or maybe you should just resort to certificate of deposits, which are CDs, or high yield savings. Let me dive into it. As of January 2024, ibonds have a combined rate of 5.27%, with a fixed rate of 1.3% and an inflation rate of 3.97%. At first glance, it looks pretty good and it looks like a good deal. But wait a minute, these are only for new ibonds purchased now. What about the old ibonds that you currently own? For me, this is what I saw: 4.35% on my ibonds purchased on January 1st, 2023, and only 3.38% on my ibonds purchased on April 1st, 2022. And no, this is not an April Fool's joke. My ibonds are making less interest than the new ibonds. How come? Well, let's look at the formula. The composite rate is the fixed rate plus 2 times the semi-annual inflation rate plus the fixed rate times the semi-annual inflation rate. If we look at the history of the fixed rates, mine are 0.4% and 0%. The semi-annual inflation rate also changes every 6 months. Treasury Direct actually has a lookup table. The fixed rate is what you get for 30 years from the day you buy the ibond. Obviously, you want to lock in a high fixed rate. The current fixed rate of 1.3% is quite good, as we haven't seen it this high since 2007. So why did I buy ibonds at 0% fixed rate? Well, back then the inflation rate was 9.6%. It's a no-brainer that you want to put money into an asset that gives you 9.6% interest. That's guaranteed. So I thought, should I sell my ibonds with the 0% fixed rate and buy the new ibonds with the new rate? It's simple math, and I would calculate how much interest I would get over 12 months in both cases. Multiply the current value of your ibond, and yes, include the interest that you have accumulated in this ibond by the interest rate. And this will give you the amount of interest you will get in 1 year. Note that the current value takes into account the 3 months of interest that you would lose if your ibond is less than 5 years old. Multiply 5.27% by the amount of money that you would put into the new ibond. Now you can compare the amount of interest you get in both cases, and you want to take the higher number. For me, the numbers differ by about $100. Why not? I'll buy the new one. Now, I don't want to put additional money into ibonds, and so what I plan to do is to sell my old ibond and then use that money to purchase the new one. It's like upgrading. I will get 1.3% over the next 30 years, guaranteed, instead of 0% for the next 28 years, since that ibond is already 2 years old. Now, to put it this way, my ibonds will always appreciate 1.3% more than the inflation rate. How good is that? Some of you might dislike ibonds because you can't sell it for the first year. And if you sell your I-bonds between 1 and 5 years old, you will lose 3 months of interest. You want more flexibility. So let's consider high yield savings and CDs. Looking at Ally Bank as an example, the current high yield savings interest rate is 4.35%. Here is a list of the CDs that are available. Looks like you can get a 12-month CD for 4.9%, but a 6-month CD is slightly higher at 5.05%. All of these interest rates are lower than that of the I-bond, but it does give you more flexibility in withdrawing your money. Also bear in mind that the Federal Reserve will plan on lowering interest rates in the near future. And so ideally what you want to do is to lock in the highest rate for the longest period before that happens. But for regular folks like us, timing that is very difficult. If you want to learn more about high yield savings and CDs, check out the videos in my description below. I-bonds continue to have higher interest rates than high yield savings and CDs. And so if you're someone who don't see themselves using their emergency fund within the next 12 months, or at least part of it, then I would strongly recommend that you purchase new I-bonds to secure that juicy 1.3% fixed rate. However, if there is a possibility that you might need this money this year, then I would park this money into a high yield savings or a CD, so you have that extra flexibility. Note that the interest rates for these are still higher than the inflation rate of 3.97%, so you won't be losing purchasing power. I already swapped out my old I-bond for the new one. You probably know me by now that I'm the type of person who doesn't leave money on the table. I hope this video helps you make smarter personal finance decisions in 2024. Hit that like button and comment below with what you plan to do. Buy new I-bonds, swap I-bonds, or put your money into high yield savings and CDs. While you're at it, don't forget to subscribe to this channel to get updates on new videos and new content on how to grow your mindset. You've been inspired today. Start saving.